And hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Lincoln. Welcome to Oklahoma Sports Scene. College football is getting closer and closer. The countdown continues. Now 3 weeks, 21 days from this Saturday to kick off the 2025 season. What better way to do it with a special gift we have for you, Phil Steele. He's the editor and publisher of Phil Steele's College Football 25 Preview Magazine. He talks all things college football, including his surprising top 10 pick for the Oklahoma Sooners. University of Tulsa Vice President, Director of Athletics, Justin Moore, joins us here on set to talk about his first year as CU's AD. Then the president of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, Mike James, made the trip over to Oklahoma City. He'll be introducing us to the 25-25 class to be inducted this coming Monday. In Remington Park, track announcer Dale Day previews the Oklahoma City Track's 2025 thoroughbred racing season. The meet opens next Friday, August the 8th. Let's begin first with our Tulsa World Hot Topics. Oklahoma high school baseball talent just signed the 2 highest minor league contracts in history. Stillwater High School star shortstop Ethan Holliday, number 4 overall pick in the recent Major League Baseball amateur draft by the Colorado Rockies, agreed to a record minor league contract with a $9 million signing bonus. The 18-year-old son of Rockies great Matt Holliday was made the top available prospect by MLB Pipeline. His $9 million bonus broke the previous bonus record of $8.2 million, set just 6 days earlier by another Oklahoman, 17-year-old Eli Willits. He's a shortstop, number 1 overall draft pick from the Washington Nationals out of Broxton High School in Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. Willits is the son of Reggie Willits, who played 6 seasons with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Tulsa All-Stars Oklahoma Little League World Series team of girls 10 to 12 years old won the Southwest Regional, shutting out defending champion Louisiana 7-0. The Oklahoma team won all 4 of its regional elimination games, now for the first time gone to the finals in Greenville, North Carolina. Tulsa, one of 6 regional champions to make the finals August 3rd to the 10th. This is the 50th year of the Softball World Series. The Drillers, Tulsa's AA baseball team, has wrapped up the month of July with a 6-game series against the Springfield Cardinals last Sunday, winning 4 of those 6 games. Now they head to Texas for 3 games at Midland this weekend before a 6-game series at Corpus Christi. Tulsa's August homestand includes the 12th through the 17th, then August 26th to 31st. Features several special theme nights and, of course, the big firework displays. Tulsa Indoor Pro Football Team, the Oilers, wrapped up their 3rd regular season with a 49-48 come-from-behind road victory at Quad Cities last Saturday. It clinched the number 3 seed in their very first ever postseason playoffs. Tulsa will start the postseason at number 2 seed Green Bay with a 3:05 kickoff this Sunday afternoon. The Oilers finished the regular season with a record of 10 wins and 6 losses. FC Tulsa, for the first time in history, is in first place in the United Soccer League's Western Conference. It went on the road this past Saturday to Indianapolis to meet the Indy 11, and for the first time since May 31st, they lost a match 2-1. Indy 11 built a 2-0 lead, including a Tulsa own goal in the 51st minute. Tulsa's lone goal came in the 72nd minute of the second half. Giordano Colli had the winner. The 2-1 loss snapped Tulsa's, by the way, 7-match unbeaten streak. FC Tulsa returns home to Oak Field, host Loudoun United FC. That's this Friday, August the 1st. Bedlam basketball will be back as both Oklahoma and Oklahoma State have announced the special men's and women's doubleheader. We played at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, home of the Thunder, on Saturday, December the 13th. Sooners and Cowboys men's teams have met 250 times every season since 1927-28, including last year when OU won 80-65. Two schools' women's teams did not play each other last season for the first time in 50 years. Lady Sooners had a good season last year, 27-8, advanced to the NCAA Sweet 16, and the Cowgirls were 25-7, went to the NCAA tournament first round. Tickets for the Bedlam basketball doubleheader, December 13th, OKC, go on sale this Friday, August the 1st. KU basketball coach Bill Self had 2 heart stents inserted last week at the KU Medical Center, second time over the last 2 years. 62-year-old coach has had heart-related issues, expected to make a full recovery. And the University of Tulsa's conference, home since 2014, the American Athletic Conference, has announced it's rebranded itself, now going to be called simply the American. Also debuted a new slogan for the American, Built to Rise, introduced a new mascot for the league, Soar the Eagle. And the University of Tulsa football team, under new head coach Trey Lamb, was picked next to the last 13 of 14 teams, preseason media poll. Next on Oklahoma Sports Scene, we have 2 in-depth segments with the publisher and editor of the nation's #1 college football preview magazine, Phil Steele, is next. And the Sooner Alert, by the way, the Sooners picked in his top 10. That's coming up next, right here on Oklahoma Sports Scene.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park is underway with great winning action Thursday through Saturday at 6 p.m. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day, Sunday, September 28th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, as the headliner. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations. The best racing, simulcast racing, and nonstop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
Well, here it is. The magazine we've all been waiting for. It's Phil Steele's 25th edition of the College Football Preview. Well, I got to admit, I was getting a little nervous. I was waiting for the newsstands and a little bit later this year. Explain that.
Yeah, we had to go to the newsstands a little later. That second transfer portal really gave us a go-around. We had to wait. Normally, I just wait till spring practice is over to talk to the head coaches, but this year is wait till spring practice is over and the portal closed. So I was trying to cram in 125-plus head coaches calls all in the month of May, and that made it pretty difficult. You're doing your third right-throughs and cramming everything out, but it was all worth the effort, and I think we captured about 99% of the players in the portal, so we got everybody on the right teams.
I know you pride yourself in talking to so many of the coaches. You had a record this year of talking personally to coaches around the country.
Yeah, and it gets better every year. So, I believe it was 125 of the 136 head coaches. Sometimes the schedules didn't work out, so we weren't able to get some of the coaches in, but we got the majority of them, almost all of them in this year again.
Okay, what are some of the magazine's features for 2025?
Well, the best thing it's got is 2 full pages on each and every team. We give you the same amount of coverage on a team like Delaware or Missouri State that we do on Oklahoma or Alabama or Ohio State. 2 full pages. And it's like 136 media guides rolled into one. It's got basically everything you need to know about that team. Last 10 years spread records, the stat leaders from last year, last 5 years records, notes on each series, the projected 3 deep and sometimes even 4 deep, a complete breakdown of each position on each team, my overall rank of the offense, defense, and then so it's just loaded with information and 360 pages, metrics articles, things like that. But the 2 full pages on each team is my pride and joy of the magazine.
Well, it's the reason you say it's the book the experts can't live without, and I can verify that. But I got to ask you, though, about, okay, who are the strongest conferences now? It seems to be an ongoing battle between the Southeastern Conference and the Big Ten.
Yeah, and really it's the Big Two and everybody else. It's those 2 conferences are clearly the top 2. And, last year, with the fact that Ohio State won the national title, and you look at the overall records of the conferences, added it all up, I actually gave it to the Big Ten. Normally it's a slam dunk. You just go with the SEC as the best conference each and every year. And I think depth-wise, when you look at the SEC, they're right at the top along with the Big Ten again this year. In fact, if you take a look at the 10th rated team that I have in each conference, my number 10 team in the Southeastern Conference is South Carolina, a team that just missed the playoff last year. My number 10 team in the Big Ten is Minnesota, so maybe a little more depth in the SEC. But I think at the end of the year, you might have better records from the Big Ten. So it's going to be a great battle once again to see which conference is the best. But really, it's those two and then everybody else, a big step off after that.
With Phil Steele, the publisher editor of Phil Steele's College Football 25 Preview magazine. So Phil, let's now focus on our area team, starting with the Oklahoma Sooners, and you have down the Sooners, calling us the number one surprise team of this fall in your ratings.
Yeah, very high in Oklahoma. In fact, when I got off the phone talking to Coach Venables, I said to myself, boy, that's a playoff caliber roster there. And, last year they played a brutal schedule. They only had 3 SEC home games last year. Played all the big boys in the SEC, and their defense still held opponents to 87 yards per game below their season average, the 6th best mark in the country. There's no doubting the Oklahoma defense this year, led by R. Mason Thomas at the defensive end spot, Kendall Daniels. They're just loaded. In fact, one of the top defenses. Meanwhile, offensively, that's where they struggled last year, but they had 0 returning starters on the offensive line. At one point, they lost their top 5 receivers due to injury, and of course, the offense struggled with a lack of an offensive line and receiving core. That's why Jackson Arnold had such a tough year last year. Well, this year, the offensive line's much more veteran. Bill Benbaugh still back on the offensive line. I think they're going to go from a weakness to a strength. You look at the receiving core, I'm going to bring up Clemson for a minute. 2 years ago, Clemson had a banged-up receiving core. Cade Klubnik had just 19 touchdown passes and 9 interceptions. Well, last year, he got his receivers back from injury. They were a much upgraded receiving core. All of a sudden, Klubnik had 36 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions. Tells you what a receiving core can do for you. And I do think they actually go from a weakness to a strength this year. I have them as a top 35 receiving core. Then you look at the running back core. I like Javonte Barnes, Taylor Tatum, but they had in Jay Knott, who was the best running back in the Pac-12 2 years ago. He's banged up last year. And then adding in John Mateer to the whole mix, a guy that can hurt you with both his legs and his arms. Great success at Washington State last year. They've got Washington State's offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle coming in. So now you've got a potent offense to go with an excellent defense. And they only have 3 true SEC road games this year. One of them's Tennessee, one South Carolina. I think those fall in the winnable category. I actually think Oklahoma's got a chance of going from 6-7 to making the playoff this year.
All right, Phil Steele, help us out. No one around here can figure out Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy about to start his 21st season after that disastrous, like last year, winless in the Big 12, 0-9. Now he comes with 60 new players and almost an all-new coaching staff.
Yeah, and Chris, you hit it on the head. How do you figure out what this team is? You just naturally think, okay, it's Mike Gundy. Mike Gundy always puts a good team on the field. They're going to have a strong team. They brought in a lot of transfers. They like the talent they brought in. But when you go position by position and look at the transfers, I'm sort of underwhelmed. And it's also a completely new team. I mean, like 30, 40 guys came in after spring practice was over. That means they're going to have to acclimate all in the month of August to get this team together and get them playing well on the football field. My respect for Mike Gundy makes it tough, but I think when you look at the talent that they have, it might be tough to get back to a bowl game this year. It's going to be interesting, and one of the tougher teams for me to forecast.
Well, the University of Tulsa has a new head football coach, Trey Young. Got everybody fired up around here. Trey Lamb, excuse me. Got everybody fired up around here. Coming off a 3-9 season, though, and a Golden Hurricane program that hasn't had a winning season, Phil, since 2021.
Yeah, it's been a while. And Kirk Francis is back at QB. I think that's a big plus. They've got 3 guys where they don't have to change the offense. They've got Baylor Hayes coming in from East Tennessee State. So I think they're okay at the quarterback position. But this is a team that's got a lot of new faces and a new head coach. And, I'd go back and look at the Big 12, for example. Arizona State 2 years ago, and brand new head coach, a lot of transfers coming in. Colorado with Deion Sanders, first-year head coach, a lot of faces coming in. Both teams struggled 2 years ago. Then last year, all of a sudden, Arizona State's winning the Big 12, and Colorado was in the mix at the end. I think it's going to be at least a 2-year process to get Tulsa turned around. They did bring in a ton of talent, a ton of transfers, but the American Conference is an underrated conference. So I'm going to call it a rebuilding year for Tulsa this year, but better things are on the horizon for them.
And now the Arkansas Razorbacks. Everybody loves Coach Sam Pittman, but they say he's on the hot seat still, despite that 7-6 and bowl winning season last year.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. If you give Arkansas a Missouri schedule, for example, I think Arkansas would be getting 8, 9, 10 wins a year, just like Missouri's been getting. But unfortunately, they just play a killer schedule. And once again, it's the third toughest in the country this year. And you throw in the non-conference games like at Memphis. I've got Memphis, my pick to win the American Conference this year. Notre Dame is on the non-conference slate, and that's in addition to LSU, Texas, Missouri, Texas A&M, at Tennessee, at Mississippi. Just an absolutely brutal schedule. But I like the fact that Taylon Green came in last year, and after starting out slow, he had 49% with a 4.4 ratio his first 5 games. He had 65% with 11.5 ratio after that. They've got Bobby Petrino as the offensive coordinator. I like the offensive line this year, led by Fernando Carmona. And defensively, they look solid across the board, led by Xavier Sori. So good talent. They do have a tough schedule. The one thing Sam Pittman's good for every year is pulling some upsets in SEC play. They probably have to pull one to get back to that 7-win total, and pull a couple more, and they could be a team that performs beyond expectations. They haven't done the 2026 schedule yet, but let's hope for once they give Arkansas a manageable slate when the next time they do the schedule.
Coming up next, part 2 with Phil Steele. He gives us his top 10. And you won't believe where he has the Oklahoma Sooners. That's next.
The Wheat Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wheat Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wheat Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
Indoor football is back, Tulsa, and season tickets are going quick. Don't miss Saturday night entertainment starting as low as $9 a month. The Tulsa Oilers indoor football team kicks off again in March, Saturday nights, 7 p.m. BOK Center. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to TulsaOilersFootball.com. That's TulsaOilersFootball.com. Get your season tickets now. Don't miss your chance to experience the fast-paced, helmet-hitting, pad-popping excitement of professional indoor football. TulsaOilersFootball.com.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Well, when Phil Steele picks his top 40, everybody pays attention, mostly because he's been the most accurate over the last 30 years. So, Phil, with that in mind, who's your top 10 for college football 2025?
Yeah, and the top 10 this year, we're going to start out with number 10. I got Michigan. They're a team that won the national title 2 years ago. Took a step back last year, but finished strong. They beat Ohio State and Alabama, and they're a much more veteran team this year. Number 9, that Oklahoma team that I talked about. I know nobody else will have Oklahoma in their top 10. I do. I think they make the playoff this year. Number 8, I got the Oregon Ducks, and while they lost a ton from last year's squad, Dan Lanning's doing a great job bringing in talent. I think Dante Moore, who was my number 3 rated quarterback out of high school, struggled at UCLA, but he's got a better supporting cast here with Oregon. He'll have a good year, and the Ducks are a legitimate Big Ten title contender. Number 7, Alabama. Their question with Alabama is who's going to be the starting quarterback this year. But the rest of the units are all strong. In fact, running back, receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, defensive backs, all come into my preseason top 10. The question is QB, but Ty Simpson was my number 3 rated quarterback out of high school. Been with the team for 3 years, fits the system well. They bring in Ryan Grubb as the offensive coordinator. I only have Bama an underdog in 1 game this year. That's why I've got him at number 7. Georgia, I got at number 6, and yet they're my pick to win the SEC this year. Now, overall talent-wise, maybe they're not what they had with the national title teams. Maybe they're a little younger. I believe 52% of the roster roster is first or second year guys, and they don't have the star power of years past. But what they do have is a better schedule than they had last year. Last year, their three toughest games were Ole Miss, Alabama, and Texas. All three games were on the road. This year, their toughest three games, Ole Miss, Alabama, and Texas. All three games are between the hedges, and they haven't lost at home in 5 years. I've got Georgia winning the SEC. We'll see where they get once playoffs roll around. Number 5, I got Ohio State, and yeah, they lost 14 NFL draft picks. No, they're not as good as last year's team, but there's no doubting the talent that Ohio State has compiled under Ryan Day, and they're actually going to be favored probably in all 12 games. Their toughest two games are Texas and Penn State, and they get both those teams at home. Watch out for the Buckeyes once again. Texas, I got at number 4. They may have the most talent in the SEC. They've got some guy, Chris, that you might have heard of. Arch Manning is at the quarterback spot. And if Arch Manning lives up to the hype of the preseason, he'll have like 60 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions this year. I don't think he'll quite reach that level, but I do think he's a solid quarterback, and they've got my number 1 rated defense. Now, Texas, unlike Georgia, has to play Ohio State on the road. They play Florida in the swamp. They play Georgia between the hedges. That's why I've got them down at number 4, but they're a dangerous threat. Number 3, I'm going with Notre Dame, and Marcus Freeman for Notre Dame got them to the national title game last year. Probably would have been an even better national title game had they not lost their top offensive lineman and top defensive lineman in the playoffs to injury. Their question mark is quarterback, but I like C.J. Carr. I think he'll do well. Jeremiah Love is back. So is Jadarian Price. They've got one of the top running back cores in the country, one of the top offensive lines in the country, one of the top defenses in the country, and a schedule, well, they'll probably be favored in all 12 games. Watch out for Notre Dame. Their toughest game might be that first game at Miami of Florida. And then my top 2 teams, Chris, number 2, I've got Clemson. And Clemson has got Cade Klubnik at QB. And, you know, I like homegrown teams, Chris. I like the teams that aren't hitting the portal heavy, but they bring in portal talent, but yet most of their players are seniors, and they were there as freshmen, and it gives you a good team atmosphere. And with Clemson, they are one of the most veteran teams in the country, the number 2 most experienced team. They've got Klubnik at quarterback, my number 2 receiving core in the country, number 2 offensive line in the country. They also bring in Gideon Davidson, who's my number 3 rated running back. And then defensively, last year they actually gave up 374 yards per game, but this year they bring in Tom Allen as a defensive coordinator, and he's got NFL talent to work with, like Peter Woods at tackle, TJ Parker at end. And you just look at the talent Clemson's got, they'll be much better defensively. And schedule-wise, I have them favored in all 12 games also. Watch out for the Clemson Tigers. But this year, for the first time in the 31 years of my magazine, I'm picking Penn State number 1. And they've got the formula that's won the national title the last 2 years, and that's a team that brings back a lot of players that could have gone to the NFL. Michigan did that 2 years ago. Ohio State last year had all those NFL guys return, and this year Ohio State loses 14 draft picks. Penn State loses just 5 draft picks. You look at their quarterback, it's Drew Allar. Of all the top teams in the country last year, they're one of the few that returned their starting quarterback. They've got Singleton and Allen back at running back, but they've also got a pair of dynamic guys behind them in Corey Smith and Quentin Martin. It's the best running back core in the country. I rate their offensive line number 1 in the country. They've added in Kyron Hudson, who was a transfer from USC. Trevor Pena comes in from Syracuse to upgrade that receiving core, and there's no doubting the talent on defense. Danny Dennis Sutton at the defensive end spot, Zane Duran at defensive tackle, Rojas at linebacker. They're just loaded there. And then schedule-wise, they do have to play Ohio State on the road, but I actually think this year James Franklin, who's played Ohio State tough the last couple of years, gets over that hurdle. I've got Penn State winning it all this year, so it's pretty impressive top 10. A lot of good quarterbacks this season, Chris.
Well, Phil Steele, no one does it better. The 25th and 31st magazine, the 25 college football preview. Bill, thanks for joining us. I'm envious of you. I saw your 12 screens set up in your office. I know you're ready to enjoy some football this fall.
You betcha, Chris. I watched the 12 games all day long on Saturday, all the way till that doggone Hawaii game ends at the end. And by the way, Chris, just a quick note for your listeners out there. If they're looking for the magazine, it's 360 pages, only available at Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. Those are the only 2 brick-and-mortar stores to get at, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million. So don't waste your gas money driving around looking for it. Or you can go online to philsteele.com. And when you go to philsteele.com and order the magazine, I'm going to charge you a shipping charge. But we also give you the digital magazine absolutely free, and we actually update that all the way through September. So Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, or philsteele.com.
It is the book the experts have to have. I totally agree. Phil, again, thanks for joining us. And coming up next, we're going to have our athletic director at the University of Tulsa is going to join us here. Talk about the TU Golden Hurricane. Justin Moore is next here on Oklahoma Sportscene. Thanks, Phil.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park is underway with great winning action Thursday through Saturday at 6 p.m. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day, Sunday, September 28th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, as the headliner. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations. The best racing, simulcast racing, and nonstop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
The Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town, is the only place you can skate like the pros. With 2 rinks, there's always time to strap on the blades and hit the ice. The Wee Street Ice Center at 43rd and Yale is your family fun destination. Try out the game simulator rooms or hit the arcade. When you get hungry, grab a bite at Puck's Sports Bar and Grill with delicious food, great drink specials, and more. It's Midtown Tulsa's coolest entertainment center. Wee Street Ice Center, the coolest place in town. Come get your skate on.
And here on Oklahoma Sports Team, glad to have with us again Justin Moore, the athletic director of the University of Tulsa. Justin, it really has been a year since you were named athletic director at TU.
It's been just over a year. That's hard to believe. I was just telling you when I sat down, it seems like I was just here in this seat just a few days ago. It was one of the first things I did when I got the job. And the year has flown by, but it's been a great year. The community's been great to my family and myself, and we're excited to be here and excited for what's to come.
Well, all Justin's done in his first year is hired a new head football coach in Trey Lamb, has a new president as we lost to Brad Carson, added a sport, and set fundraising records. It's been a pretty good year.
It's been fun. We're excited about the infrastructure that we have in place. We're really excited about the people that's a part of our program and in our building. And again, we're excited for what's to come.
Now let's talk money. This is what college athletics is all about right now. Everybody's concerned when they talk about NIL and portal and the NCAA settlement. How could Tulsa, the smallest enrollment in Division I in the athletics, keep up? He said we have a chance, and Coach Lamb sounds very positive about it too.
Yeah, I think you have to understand, what are your goals? And our goals, our vision is to be the standard of excellence in our conference, in the American. And I think that is a realistic expectation. Right. Now, we have a long ways to go to get to that, but I do think that's realistic. And so when I talk to our coaches and our staff, it's about we have to help provide resources for them to be competitive against their peer competition. And so I tell our coaches, you need to worry about what the American has, and we have to put plans in place to give our coaches the resources they need to be successful against the American. What Oklahoma's doing, what Ohio State's doing, to be honest, is irrelevant to us. It's a different level that we play at. And I do think with being able to put together a really good plan, we have to allocate our resources to the most impactful areas, and we cannot be wasteful of any dollars. We just don't have the money to do that. And so I think, one, you have to understand what your expectations and your goals are, put together a plan to match those expectations, and then have a plan where you allocate your dollars to the most impactful areas.
Well, Justin and his staff, all they've done in that department, by the way, is set records for new sponsorship money, licensing, royalty money, and the TU Giving Day. Huge success. Well, $750,000 put in that one day by the TU supporters.
Yeah, and we talk about this a lot. We want to be Tulsa's team, and for us to be successful at the University of Tulsa, we're going to have the support of the community. You mentioned it. small school. We don't have huge numbers in alumni, and so we need others that are part of the community that value what the university does for the city to be a part of what we are doing. And for us to be successful in generating those resources we talked about, fundraising is going to be a huge part of that, and we will continue to spend our time working on that and hopefully trying to increase those numbers every year.
You know, it can always be a little unsettling when the university president is changed, but it's not too bad that your former athletic director, our good friend who's now back in the seat, the number one guy there leading the way is Rick Dixon again.
Yeah, it's funny. I certainly didn't expect that, to have my predecessor then become the interim president. That's unusual.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's ever happened, but you know, I have a great relationship with Rick. He and I had a good relationship when I first got the job. He was one of the first people I talked to. We've been in communication throughout the first year as I'm bouncing things off of him and asking his suggestions or, hey, help me understand what you guys are doing here. And so we had a great relationship, and so the fact that he's back in a lot of ways makes my job easier, and then I don't have to explain a lot of things in athletics that you would normally have to explain to an interim president. And so he's been great. We appreciate his support, and then in conjunction with that, our board has been incredibly supportive, and so that's going to be important moving forward.
Well, in turn, you really put the scholar athlete back in scholar athlete. You're very proud of the back to you against that record with the GPA.
Yeah, really, one of the things we're most proud about is we had the highest GPA in the history of Tulsa athletics at a 3.36. And if you really think about that, that's incredible. Across all of our student athletes, the average GPA is a 3.36. And so it just is a testament to how incredible our student athletes are and the quality of people that our coaches are recruiting, and so something that we are extremely proud of.
On the field, TU women's golf, women's cross country won American Conference championships. 4 teams competed in the NCAA postseason and had 53 overall conference all-team honorees.
Yeah, it was. It's great to see our teams win championships, and as I tell all of our teams, this is proof that it can be done. And so our goal is to continue to have more and more of our teams competing at the championship level in our conference. And so we're really proud of those student athletes and those coaches. They've done a great job, and we look forward to having more of those.
I know you said one of your proudest moments, and it's on your letter you sent to the TU fans, was reinstating the University of Tulsa's men's golf program after a 9-year absence, I believe, Justin.
That's right. Yeah, it's funny. I was asked about men's golf probably as much as anything right when I got the job, and I learned quickly how important just golf is to the community of Tulsa and how big golf was here, and then what it meant to a lot of our former students and former men's golfers. And so the fact that we were able to raise enough money to bring that program back was really rewarding and fulfilling to see what it meant, not just to our former student athletes, but just our former students in general, and then just other members of the community that care a lot about golf.
And that, by the way, is the University of Tulsa's 18th varsity sport level. And of course, my time to always throw this in. When are we bringing baseball back to TU? I've been campaigning this for years. God bless you. Late Gene Shell passed away. TU had a great legacy of baseball.
Yeah, so adding programs right now is extremely challenging.
Yes.
You're not going to see that really anywhere across the country. And honestly, what we did for our men's golf program is probably going to be the model moving forward, is we were able to raise enough money to endow the program so that it pays for itself and can ensure longevity. The other thing, golf is a small enough roster where it did not throw off our Title IX numbers within the university. And so a larger sport like baseball, you're not talking about just adding baseball. You're now going to have to add at least 1, maybe 2 other women's sports to make sure you stay within Title IX. And so we do not have any additional sports adding on the horizon.
I keep trying. Well, let's talk about upgrading facilities. We've done a lot of that in this first year, too.
Yeah, we were very fortunate. We had a very generous gift that was given to us to help fund replacing the turf there on Skelly Field, and then we also were able to renovate some of the areas in the Case Athletics Complex. It hadn't been touched since it was opened, and so again, just some important things that we're able to do to continue to keep up and try to help us recruit the best student athletes we can.
And tell us about now the NIL player compensation. How are we dealing with that at the University of Tulsa?
I feel really good about our plan. Again, we're not going to have the most, but we have to be very intentional about how we allocate our resources. And what we have to do for all of our teams is try to give them a chance to be successful against their peer competition. So which I tell our soccer coach, you need to worry about what does soccer have against in the American or against the teams we're playing. And so what soccer gets versus what football or men's basketball or women's basketball gets are very different. But I can give soccer an advantage by doing some creative things with our financial aid to help them on the scholarship side. That does give them an advantage. And then I can allocate some of the more hard dollars to our football and basketball programs who need that to have a chance to be successful.
Take a look now at the University of Tulsa's 2025 football schedule. It's a challenging one. Starts at home though, and for the last 3 seasons we've increased our attendance there. Again, kudos to the fans and make a good experience out there.
That's right. And I know there's been a lot of great things done for our tailgating environment. I think we've done a good job of creating a great home game experience. And to be honest, now we have to do our part of putting a great product on the field. And I think for us to really take the next level and continue to increase not only in attendance but in revenue, we're going to have to put a great product on the field that people want to come watch consistently. No matter who the opponent is, they want to come watch the University of Tulsa.
Let's hear what our new head coach Trey Lamb had to say at the media days for the American, as he says about the Tulsa football program and its future.
We want Tulsa to be a consistent bowl contender. We have been given enough from our administration, our board, to be competitive. I truly believe that. I've worked at places that are very similar to Tulsa. Right now, we're the little brother. I don't like that. We're going to get that fixed. We have the resources to get that fixed. But the biggest thing I care about and the thing I'm most concerned about is consistent winner. I'm not trying to win 10 games and go 3-8 the next year. We got to get this thing off the ground with consistency. Question.
All right, Justin, he's got the crowd all fired up for sure. Trey Lamb, we wish him all the best for the season. How about for you, Justin Moore, what are your goals now as a team athletic director in the future?
Yeah, our vision is to be the standard of excellence in our conference. And so we've got to do everything we can to hire great coaches, give them the infrastructure they need to be successful, recruit great student athletes and develop them so that we can put championship level programs across all of our sports on the field that both the university and the city can be proud of.
Happy first year anniversary.
Thank you very much. We'll do it again.
Justin Moore, athletic director at the University of Tulsa. Now right back with Mike James, president of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, with their new class for 2025.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
Founded in 1960, Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing has been dressing gentlemen for over half a century. We are family owned and operated, offering premium brand tuxedos and accessories at our Tulsa store on South Harvard. Bashira's also does made-to-measure suits, sports coats, dress shirts, and slacks, and a top line of sportswear. We do tailoring on site to assure the perfect fit so you will look your very best for that special occasion. Ed Bashira's Formal Wear and Fine Clothing, an Oklahoma tradition.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
And welcome back to Oklahoma Sports City. Welcome back Mike James, our friend.
Hi, Chris.
President of the Oklahoma Sports Hall, made the drive to Oklahoma City to be over here in the sports scene with us here. Let's talk about big event coming up Monday night. We induct your 40th class, 5 new inductees, the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame.
We're excited. Again, thanks for having me, Chris. Always enjoyed the drive over, and most of all, I enjoyed my time with you, so thank you. It means a lot. Yeah, we are celebrating our 40th induction ceremony on Monday, August 4th. We've got 5 incredible inductees, certainly well-deserved going in, and then one special award that we're going to give out. We'll talk here in a little bit.
Let's talk about how you select the inductees for the Sports Hall of Fame. What are some of the requirements?
Well, you know, there are 2 simple requirements, Chris. One, you're either from Oklahoma and made a major contribution to sports somewhere. For example, Mickey Mantle, Johnny Bench, from Oklahoma, major contribution New York, Cincinnati. Or you can be from somewhere else and made a major contribution to sports here. An example would be somebody like Billy Sims from
Hooks,
Texas, won a Heisman Trophy at OU. So those are the two parameters, if you will, and then we have a nominations list with literally hundreds on there. Anyone can be nominated. It has to come in letter form or email form with a bio, and just outlining their contribution to sports and their Oklahoma connection to contribution to sports.
Give us some of the history of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. It's fascinating because I know Mick Cornell, a good friend, does a great job hosting the event, was a big part of that, former mayor of Oklahoma City.
You know, in 1986, this was shortly after the oil bust. Mick Cornett, along with some other notable folks down in Oklahoma City, wanted to bring something real positive to Oklahoma City, and they looked at, or to the state of Oklahoma, I should say, they looked at the rich sports legacy and sports history in Oklahoma and said, you know what, we don't have a Hall of Fame. And they got together with a gentleman named Lynn Draper. They started the Jim Thorpe Association, with the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame being a kind of an offshoot of that. And that's how it was created. And that inaugural class, listen to this inaugural class, Bud Wilkinson, Mickey Mantle, Henry Iva, Allie Reynolds, Carl Hubble. I mean, my goodness, the who's who.
I know one of the big concerns they talked about this is, well, gosh, do we have enough people to put in a Hall of Fame in Oklahoma?
You know, it's funny because, you know, you look at who's in the Hall of Fame like yourself, you look at that and you're going, okay, are we going to run out anytime soon? And you know what, Chris, every year, I mentioned earlier, we probably have 200 plus nominees still on the list. And every year we have 10 to 15 to 20 more being added. We're never going to run out.
Let's take a look at the inductees for 2025 this fast. We'll start with Ken Hayes, a guy that I know Coach Owens and I really worked hard and campaigned hard for Ken Hayes. A great basketball coach. He was 460 career wins, 7 seasons at TU. Also coached at New Mexico State, Oral Roberts, and Northeastern State University, his alma mater. You got some great stories on Ken Hayes. He's a character.
You know, here's the thing. You and Coach Owens, you kind of laid the groundwork and I don't want to say pushed his nomination, but really brought
he pushed it.
Well, yeah, okay. But you also brought his highlights to everyone, to the forefront of everyone's thoughts. When and once his name was brought up, my goodness, people jumped all over it. And when Coach Hayes came to the luncheon back in March when we had the luncheon, he was telling the story. He said that he and Enos Seymour, who's also going in, who you'll talk about, they got their first coaching jobs together at Bacone College in Muskogee, and they were there to be baseball coaches. And so I might mess this up a little bit, but apparently the athletic director came to him and said, we need a basketball coach too, but they both wanted to coach baseball. So they were going to draw straws or something, I don't know. But Ken Hayes went home and his wife said, Ken, if you take the basketball job, you'll never have to be out in the cold or out in the rain. He goes, I'll coach basketball.
Smart. I like that. Well, again, Ken Hayes, congratulations. Welcome to the Hall of Fame. And Pitts Turner. You don't know that name? You don't know Oklahoma State women's golf.
You know, Ann Pitts Turner became the Oklahoma State golf coach. I want to say it was in the early 70s. And back then it was just a club team because they didn't have women's sports. This was before Title IX.
Oh, that's right.
And then she fought real hard to get, to become a recognized female sport at Oklahoma State, and she did. And my goodness, her accomplishments, Chris.
21 national championships. She was named multiple times Big 12 Coach of the Year, member of the Oklahoma Golf Hall of Fame, but now she is a member, well-deserving, the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame. There's another name you may not know, but what an impact he's had on the sport of softball. Don Porter.
You know, without Don Porter, Chris, we wouldn't have, first of all, Oklahoma would not have the Women's Softball Hall of Fame or Devon Park, which is where the Olympics are played, basically. And they're coming back in 2028. Don Porter is really women's softball institution. Without Don Porter, there's not women's softball like it is today, especially in the Olympics.
And deceased member going in, well-deserved, gosh, he just passed away this past Enos Seymour, great baseball coach for OU, head coach for 22 seasons of the Sooners.
Yeah, and it's sad that Coach Seymour recently passed away. The great thing about it is he knew that he was going into the Hall of Fame. He was aware of it, and it just, from what we heard from his kids, it was a total blessing, but certainly well-deserved. Incredible baseball coach.
Averaged 38.5 wins per season. He had 9 conference titles, 5 trips to the College World Series, and retired in 1989 with 851 victories. The legendary Enos Seymour going in the Hall of Fame, well-deserved. And here's a guy named people know, of course, and more current, I think. Wes Welker. Well, what a career.
My goodness. You know, Wes Welker, here's a kid out of Heritage Hall High School, doesn't get any offers, gets a last-minute offer from Texas Tech, goes to Texas Tech, becomes an All-American, goes undrafted, and goes to the Dolphins, has a 9 or 10-year career in the league. Here's a great Wes Welker story.
Oh, good.
2004, he's playing with the Dolphins. The kicker goes down, the punter goes down. In one game, they're playing the Patriots. This is October of 2004. In one game, Wes kicks off, he punts, he kicks a field goal, he kicks an extra point, and he returns a punt.
Wow.
Against the Patriots, right? 2 years later, the Patriots trade for him.
I love that.
And he ends his career. Well, he spent, I think, 6 years with the Patriots.
Multiple Super Bowls, hooked up with the previous quarterback, Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
Timing is everything.
So great, another great class.
And of course, Wes Welker, an absolute legend at Oklahoma City Heritage Hall High School.
Yeah. All-American or All-State, I believe, all 4 years of his high school career.
Wow. Just amazing. And then, of course, there's some good friend of ours getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, the great Kansas basketball coach Ted Owens. And talk about how special is that award? How many times have you given that out?
You know, Chris, this will be the 11th time since 1986 that we've given this award out. And you think of the names, the people that got it. Abe Lemons, Allie Reynolds, Johnny Bench, Tom Osborne, Chris Schenkel, Barry Switzer, Lynn Draper, and now Ted Owens. And beyond well-deserved, as you know.
Yeah, it's my honor to be able to be driver for the Kansas Hall of Fame basketball coach. We're great friends. We have our Taco Tuesday. We get together with his lovely wife Michelle, my wife Becky. Always go out and do it on Tuesday night, have dinner together and stuff. And I never thought Missouri Tiger would hook up with a Kansas Jayhawk. We've been a great friend for so many years and so well-deserved. He does so much, not just basketball, but very, very involved in the fellowship with Christian athletes too.
Well, and the Lifetime Achievement Award, Chris, just isn't about what you did on the field, on the court, in the arena. It's about your contribution, not just to sports, but your contribution to the state, to other athletes, being a mentor, being a coach. You know, it's irrelevant of your sport.
Yeah.
It's about you as a person making a difference in the lives of people throughout your career. And that's what Coach Owens has done and continues to do
absolutely,
on a regular basis.
And please, God, let us be as sharp as Ted Owens. Just turned 96 years old. His kids took him to play pickleball at 96 and out for dinner with tacos. So
well, I can tell you right now, I will never get into a debate with Coach Owens about history, about basketball, and now about pickleball. Won't happen.
All right, give us the particulars now of the event coming up Monday night. I think you almost sold out, aren't you?
We have 5 tickets left, folks.
Wow.
So August 4th, the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. It's a black tie affair. There'll be a cocktail hour from 6 to 7. The banquet starts right at 7. And with respect to everybody's time, we know people are coming from all over the state. We will end at 9 p.m. We will end honor before 9 p.m. So from 7 to 9, come out and let's honor these folks. Let's honor the 5 inductees and most notably Coach Owens.
Absolutely. Great event. Mike, thank you.
Hey, Chris.
Oklahoma City.
Oh, goodness.
Appreciate
Anytime. I love it.
We're going to come right back here, Remington Park, over this little racing season coming up. And week from Friday, we'll have Dale Day on with a preview. We come back right here, Oklahoma Sportscene, the home of the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
Well, the Remington Park Fall Thoroughbred Meet gets underway Friday, August the 8th. Host time 6 p.m. with a preview of the longtime announcer of the Remington Park racetrack, their voice of Remington. Dale Day has joined us now. And Dale, give us the latest on getting ready to start your now 37th thoroughbred racing season.
Yeah, we're ready to go. The first day is Friday, August 8th. We go all the way to Saturday, December 20th, 62 days in total. And something new this year, Chris, we're going to start a little bit earlier in the evening. We've raced primarily at night now for more than 20 years. The lights went up in late 2000, so we've utilized them as much as any racetrack that has lights. We'll start at 6 p.m. Central Time now, a little earlier than what we have the last couple of years. So that'll be a 6 p.m. start time. That'll be the norm, and we are racing normally Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. We'll stretch it to 4 days a week, Wednesday through Saturday, once we get to December.
Now, the barn area opened back on July the 9th. Horses hit the track for the first workouts on the 10th. So how is your horse population for this 2025 meet?
We can hold about 1,400 for capacity, and going into this week, we're just now a little bit more than 1,000. All the horses that were racing at Lone Star Park in Grand Prairie, Texas, that plan to be here, pretty much here now. There's still a few other outfits that will probably show up here this week, but the population continues to grow with each and every day. We'll see a few more horses roll in as they finish things up in Iowa at Prairie Meadows and also at Canterbury Park in Minnesota. There's a few strings of horses up there we'll see down here, but we're a little bit over 1,000 right now. We can hold up to 1,400, so we'll get closer and closer as we get ready to go next week.
Oh, Dale, who are some of the top trainers and jockeys you expect for the meet?
Well, it's same old story, same old song and dance as far as the trainer. Steve Asmussen, he's got his allotment of a half barn that he's allowed to have, and he's won the training title now 18 times here at Remington Park, and he'll remind anybody that asks him, his first training title ever won was here at Remington Park back in the early 1990s before he had a couple of big stakes horses and broke loose on the national scene, and the rest is history. He's gone on to set records for the all-time wins mark in thoroughbred racing. So he'll be the strongest. We'll have some other locals chasing after him. Hall of Famer Joe Offholder, owner, trainer, breeder C.R. Trout is backloaded up a little bit more this year than he has been the last few. So he'll make a little bit of a run. He's got a strong contingent of 2-year-olds. And then Brett Calhoun, he'll have a strong outfit. Ronnie Cravens has been doing well the last few years. There's a few others, but more than likely it'll be Steve Asmussen trying to run off with it. As far as the jockeys, Stuart Elliott, he's won the last 2 titles. Don't see any reason to see that he's going to get knocked off. However, Ramon Vasquez is returning this year for the first time in many. He won, I think it was 4 or 5 jockey titles back about 10 years ago. And then he stretched his wings and moved on. He rode at Naira for a while up in New York. He was up in he was West Coast Del Mar, Santa Anita for a few years, had some success out there, won a few jockey titles there. But he's found his way back to this part of the country. Don't know the reasons why, but we're happy to have him back. And he'll make a run at Stuart Elliott, I'm sure.
Well, Dale, impressive stake schedule. I saw 32 stakes posted at $3.4 million in purses. What are some of the highlights of the big stakes races?
Well, the biggest highlights, the first super card we have will be Oklahoma Derby Day. Final Sunday in September. I believe it's September 28th this year, 3 p.m. start time. Only Sunday of the season. Oklahoma Derby headlines it. That's a grade 3 event. The Remington Park Oaks is there. We've created a new race, the Great West Turf Sprint at $250,000. That is new on the schedule this year, as that's become a thing with a lot of horses that like to sprint on the turf, and the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint's grown every year since they implemented that about 5-6 years ago. So we're going to join that as well and offer a nice race for those type of runners. So that's the first big card of the season, September 28th, Oklahoma Derby Day. Oklahoma Classics in mid-October. It's October 17th for the state breds. And then, of course, the big night at the end, the Springboard Mile on the final night of the season, where we offer the Kentucky Derby qualifying points to next year's Derby to horses that compete there. Cole Battle, who won the race last year, went on to do great things at Oaklawn Park, won the Rebel Stakes there, ran the Kentucky Derby, didn't fare very well there. But we are hoping, fingers crossed, that he'll come back and run in the Oklahoma Derby. He gets an all expenses paid trip, basically. All the fees are paid since he won the Springboard Mile, so it won't cost his connections anything to enter the race. And we expect to hopefully see him back in that race in late September.
Yeah, what does the daily purse structure look like, and how many are you expecting as far as number in the field?
Well, field size is always the thing we strive for, and unfortunately, it's finally caught up to Oklahoma the last couple of years, where it hit the nation a little bit before us. But the full crop has shrunk over the last 20 years nationally in thoroughbred racing, and that finally reached Oklahoma. So that's one of the reasons we stretched our schedule and moved to a 3-day race week, trying to increase our field size a little bit by offering basically the same amount of races, but stretched out over an extra 3 weeks of the season in the calendar year, if you will. So hopefully that works for us. Purse structure, roughly the same as last year, probably will go up a little bit around, I don't have the stats in front of me, but it's well over $200,000 a day, closer to $300,000 a day. So the purse structure will be very solid once again.
Dale Day, always at Remington Park. Have a great meet. Look forward to having your Remington report starting next week here, Dale. Thanks again for joining us, and we're going right back on Oklahoma Sports Scene with a preview of a very special show coming up. We'll have our Hall of Fame special right after this break.
Thoroughbred season at Remington Park is underway with great winning action Thursday through Saturday at 6 p.m. Make plans now for Oklahoma Derby Day, Sunday, September 28th. The lone Sunday afternoon of the season begins at 3 p.m. with the richest race of the season, the Grade 3 $400,000 Oklahoma Derby, as the headliner. Visit RemingtonPark.com for all post times, group rates, and dining reservations. The best racing, simulcast racing, and nonstop jackpot casino action is at Remington Park.
Pitch, Casey lines it down the left field line. Drillers win!
Baseball, fireworks, food, and family, it's all in Tulsa at One Oak Field. Score your Drillers season membership today with plans and prices fit for every fan. Whether you want to catch every game or select nights, we know you will have a great time at the ballpark. We're proud to offer a variety of membership options, so don't wait. Contact a Drillers rep who will personally help you find the right plan for you. It's all in Drillville for 2025.
The Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, home of the Paycom Jim Thorpe Award, is a treasure trove of memorabilia honoring Oklahoma sports legends. For museum hours or to schedule a tour, go to oklahomasportshalloffame.org.
Our story, it lives in Tulsa, where the spirit of the past lives alongside us and urges us on toward a vibrant future. Because our story is still being written. It's the story of Tulsa, told by the journalists who live it and love it. Whether it's covering our rich history, bringing you the hidden gems of the food scene, or following the action in local sports. And here, in the Tulsa world, is where it comes to life.
Next week, we have a special presentation featuring a look back into our Hall of Fame that's been on Oklahoma Sports Scene, our Hall of Fame show. This is some of the names you'll be hearing from Oklahoma Sooner football legendary Hall of Famer multiple times, Barry Switzer. Ted Owens, Kansas Hall of Fame basketball coach in the Oklahoma Sports Hall of Fame, is honored Lifetime Achievement Award. 2 Hall of Fame receivers, both the University of Tulsa and the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame, Steve Largent and Drew Pearson. And Sean McGrady, former world boxing champion from Oklahoma City, has Sean on the show. Then Bill Mott, Hall of Fame thoroughbred trainer, has won this year's Kentucky Derby and Belmont Stakes. All that coming up next week on Oklahoma Sports Scene. Until then, we always remind you, be a good sport.